This stream contains fast flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
Today, 2 world champs start to run for another trophy. 4 more teams are ready to make their debut, and it's truly anyone's game. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Day 3 of VALORANT Champions, coming at you live from the COEX Artium. Nailed it that time, kind of, sort of. Here in Seoul, South Korea, of course. I'm Golden Boy here on the desk with 2 people that just, you know, I absolutely adore. 2 of my favorite people in the world. You got Brent, you have Mimi. See, I'm saying nice things about you. I'm buttering you up so that this way you can treat me nice today.
I'm going to treat you nice. I've never treated you wrong in your life.
You've always been good.
I'm going to be nice.
Mostly
what
Mimi.
have I done?
Mostly Mimi.
Dude, we just started. This could have been the day where I was planning to turn a new leaf, and you just stopped it.
No, Leaf is on G2.
Dude, start it.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about what happened on the
What was
stage.
that laugh?
Yes.
That was like the crazy taxi. All right.
All right. So we saw Group A take the stage, and of course we got some DRX versus crew action, and I learned a valuable lesson today, guys.
Here's the thing.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
No one saw the map one and overreacted. No one at all.
No one at all. I would never go and do the Degeneration X gesture to everyone in the crowd. But there were some incredible moments in that one. Of course, then as we look forward, though, to Fnatic and Billy Gaming, it was a little bit of a different type of game than what we got in the first one. Fnatic looking like world beaters right now.
They were definitely on map 2 at the beginning. It was a little bit shaky, but they did get the win in the end. And they said themselves as well, there was a bit to work on. It's going to be a good VOD review session for them on that bind map. And now they have the honor of facing up against DRX.
Yeah, I think it was a good warm-up for Hero coming in as the sub on stage, getting that clutch at the end to close out binds. A lot of good moments for Fnatic. I don't think they're at 100% just yet, but showing good early signs here.
Yeah, but Fnatic versus DRX.
Should be a good one.
Yeah.
That's
I got a hot take with that one.
Yeah, I'm excited.
DRX win. That's my hot take. I'm not even on them.
Really
they don't even play today. It's a hot take. It's a real hot take.
You're already looking to just pull the ire of the internet.
I would like some chaos, I think, into this test today. Do you know what I mean?
Then
we
let's do it.
We don't have too many props, but I think I could invent some. I could create some.
All right, well, you heard it here, folks.
You're going to just start doing like a mime routine.
We're going to go insane. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff today. All right, well, make sure you wonderful people at home are using the hashtags VALORANT Champions and VCT so we can go ahead and feature your stuff on the broadcast. And while you're at it, you know, since you got your phone now, why don't you go ahead and scan the QR code? Look at that. It's right here. Where? Oh, bam. Oh, there. Right there.
That's not where it is.
There it is.
It's okay. I got there eventually. We want to know which of the first seeds will go furthest at Champions Seoul. Make sure you signed off. We'll go ahead and share the results later on in the show. But let's go ahead and move forward here and talk about what we're going to be watching here today and give everyone a little reminder about the most popular pick'ems choices going into group stage, of course, powered by AWS. We shared this before, but I think it's important to highlight it here where the community feels like, the chips are falling, especially as we get ready for this group here today. And Leviatan, without a doubt, dominating their group.
No, I mean, everybody's expecting it to be a one-sided day today. I think I'm right there with them, to be honest, as well, because Leviatan looking like they've got barely any holes in terms of their map pool overall, and they're up against a Talon team that don't know which way they got out of bed most of the time. They just end up banning everything, usually banning the strength of their opponents, which I do respect to a degree, but you kind of need a very solid map pool to begin with, to even go about that strategy in the first place, right? To even just take away the strengths of your opponents. But yeah, we'll see. Anything can happen.
Talon's
That's the thing
also,
about champs.
Yeah, Talon's such a weird team too, because they're coming off of 2 series losses where they just got absolutely decimated to end Pacific. So I think actually rating their form is kind of difficult. Are they the team that was honestly looking pretty bad in those last 2 games, or the squad that showed a lot of potential earlier in the Pacific season that looked pretty great on the debut of Primi as well? So kind of a wild card there for Talon.
For sure. We'll talk more about Primi in a little bit here. But coming up today, we're heading to Group C, as we talked about. And of course, we get Aspas returning to the champion stage when Leviatan takes on Talon Esports in our first match of the day. And then it's going to be an EMEA Vitality versus a Chinese region Trace Esports, which that one, again, Vitality, I think there's going to, Trace Esports has the lowest percentage for the pick'em. So
really?
Yeah, the lowest 10.3 or 10.4%. 9.4%.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people giving them time of day, but hey, I smell an upset.
Anything
maybe.
can happen. You smell an upset?
I'm not saying.
Are we going to do pranks in this
No, I'm
pre-show?
just saying maybe it's like a little hint,
Okay,
you know, like a little whiff.
Maybe
might
it's
just be
burnt
me.
toast that you're
Could be burnt
smelling.
toast, yeah. I should get that checked out.
Yeah, I do that.
In any case, though, a few years ago, Leviatan's Com and Talon's Governor were both fighting it out in Tier 2, and now they're here in Korea fighting for the crown. And earlier, our very own Mimi caught up with them for a quick chat about the road right here to Champions.
Yippee. Hey guys, I'm Mimi, joined by Leviatan's Com and Talon's Governor ahead of the tournament here for VALORANT Champions. Now, both of you guys off playing in the partnership now, making it here to Champions, but you both started at the same time, playing a ton back in NA Tier 2, and I kind of wanted to start back then, because both of you guys played against each other a couple times, played at least in one tournament together back then, and going back then a couple of years, what did you think of each other as players, and what was it like kind of competing in NA back then?
I would say at the start, I think it was Squirrel Squad, right? Back then? Like way back then? Where we played together?
Crew I filled
It
for
was a
you,
crew.
right? It was a crew that I
yeah,
filled.
or Easy 5 or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But back then it was just like, I think everyone's mindset was like trying to get a start into the pro scene. I think back then it was just like all about like winning the Tier 2 tournaments and all that. And I think like, especially looking at it now, it's like, damn, we made it to the big thing and like we made it to the land. So it's pretty cool to like see like all like my past friends and everything like just make it here, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely second that. Back then it was like, well, I was doing like content on the side as well, so well, not really the side, but I was kind of doing both.
Sure.
But like when I was playing, definitely like those Tier 2 tournaments, it was definitely all about like, you know, the night, like every week you'd have a night's tournament, NSG.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was just like, for me it was a thrill. I never like actually saw myself, or I mean I kind of did, but like as a content creator, like I kind of tried doing both, but definitely like once a week it was definitely like the thing I look forward to the most every single time. But when I thought about Corbin as or Com as a player, I think I knew you just from like CS, like you were on Team Mythic, right?
Yep.
Or something. But you know, I think back then like kind of a nobody, or at least like aside from content, but I definitely like, you know, looked up to him.
You get a chance from playing in Tier 2 to then come up and move all the way to Korea to compete on a partnership roster. What was that moment like? Did it feel like it was like kind of all coming together?
What's the thing from Spider-Man? A Canon event. It was a Canon event.
Canon event.
Okay.
Yeah, like basically I knew that decision, if I said yes or no to it,
Sure.
would be like
It would be like
Yeah.
a turning point in your life.
big turning point or like whatnot. But you know, had I not, you know, moving to Korea, I feel like not everybody would do it because it's kind of like
a big
you're moving.
risk.
You're moving to another country. Like you have to change your whole life basically. But I think what drove me was like my roots, I guess.
Sure.
I got to see like a lot of my family in the process, so it was like definitely a big like, you know, it pushed me to, you know, take the decision. But
Sure.
it was definitely what do you call it? I don't regret, you know.
That's good.
Definitely don't regret it.
You took the right turning point.
Yeah.
Before I let you guys go, I wanna ask for both of you as Korean players growing up in America to now get to play in Korea for Champions, for your chance to go back to back as one of only 2 players, and for your first international event. What's that like?
I think it's pretty amazing, especially having the opportunity of like getting able to go back to back, especially with like such a great team I have behind me right now. And it's also like, I'm really hopeful that the Korean fans are cheering for me. I get to see a lot of the Korean fans, and even though I don't know a lot of Korean or can't speak it that well, I really hope I feel that like connection with me and the fans, honestly.
I feel the same way. I think even just playing in Pacific has been like a really cool experience, just because like, well, I see like a lot of the Korean fans. Like I know our org is, you know, Thai. I do like appreciate all like, you know, the Thai fans as well, but the Korean fans, like them coming up to me after games and like me, you know, speaking my broken Korean, it's definitely really cool.
Well, it's going to be cool to get to see everything come full circle and watch you 2 play against each other in this tournament. I wish you both the best of luck, and thank you for joining me.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
Thanks so much. Back to you.
An incredible journey for both of those young men as they find themselves here. For Calm, an opportunity to be a two-time world champion, and for Governor really to, you know, be here at Champion. Such an achievement for those guys, 100%.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think that, you know, these guys are probably going to be raring to go into this matchup here and facing each other across the stage. And, you know, Calm and the rest of Leviatan, I think, as well, supporting them. There's all sorts of storylines, I guess, circulating around this Leviatan team, but the one that really is just highlighted in all of our minds has to be, you know, the talk of them potentially getting that repeat trophy. Not just, you know, Calm, but also Aspas as an individual.
Yeah.
There's so much going on for this team right now that makes you want to root for them.
Two players that could get their second champs trophy. And for Governor as well. I mean, it is crazy. I remember watching this guy's games back in NA so often. He was literally every Tier 2 event every week. And now he's made it through a completely different league to come back and play against a former teammate at Champions. It's really cool.
Yeah, put in that work and the results show for themselves. It's incredible stuff there. But let's go ahead and move into our first matchup of the day. Talk about Leviatan. At Champions Draw Show, we actually had King for a few words talking about his opponent and his thoughts, and he said it was going to be a cakewalk. Check this out.
I mean, we're feeling pretty good as a team right now, and I want to, like I said it joking, I want Talon, give me Talon. I mean, I feel that they're just like, I feel they're a mid team, so I'll take it.
Now, in the midst of me doing my Ric Flair impression when he said that on stage, and I do recall him saying that with a lot of confidence. I wonder if Governor asked Calm, hey man, why did King say we were mid?
Why did you say we were mid? Why did you say we were mid team? I mean, listen, if you look at the numbers, listen, if you're just a stats Steven and you're only looking at the numbers, you might also believe that. I mean, for King, I can't imagine he's watched too much in terms of the VODs. When he made that proclamation on the stage, he probably had his full focus in the grand final.
What does mid mean? Because I think they're
you want to break down the
best,
etymology?
Yeah, they're the third best team from Pacific. Is that not, is third, fourth seed not mid?
But it's a different type of mid. You know, it's mid is bad in this. It's not saying, if you're saying you're middle of the pack, that's different, right? But if you call them mid, I mean,
where does mid come from?
Like if you roll up to me and be like, hey, yo, GB, you type mid, I'd be like, oh, devastated. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Who is it mid? Leviatan.
You've twisted my brain up, man, thinking about the etymology of the word mid and like where it came about and like Gen Alpha and these terms and skibbity toilet and everything. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just started going down a rabbit hole. Here's Leviatan. Here's a team that's playing on the stage.
What is Gen Alpha?
These guys
how young do you
are
have to be?
superstars. I'm going to get us back on track here. I said I was the one to cause chaos, and it's been the opposite. But these guys are superstars, and I think that they showcase that as the narrative circulating around them. I think about, you know, them not being big game players when it comes to international events.
For sure.
For good reason. Listen, I was ready to get ESIC on the line when I was watching LEV play at Shanghai. I really was. they were doing some silly stuff. But honestly, I got a lot more confidence back watching them in that finals when they didn't have the map pick advantage. They had two bans against them, and they kind of dominated.
I think the question was also around playoffs just in Americas, where they were really rough in stage one and in kickoff as well back then, really struggling in those big matches. But playoffs was a different beast. For me, the biggest improvements since coming back from Shanghai, it was all about the fundamentals. Like, these guys' team play looks so much better. It looks so innate, especially on their defensive sides when they're setting up for flood retakes, things like that. They're always playing off each other. You still see players take risks sometimes because it is a super team and they can do that, but consistently, they're just playing really solid Valorant together. And I think that they are the team that if you can't like outcall them, outthink them, and also compete with them firepower-wise, you're kind of boom. For me, they're like the gatekeeper of being able to compete for top-level slots.
That's like everything, you know what I mean? And it's like they have so many tools at their disposal. And of course, one of those players, a former world champion, we got Calm actually standing by with Mika Fab to get his thoughts going into today's match.
Hey Calm, the defending champion. You are the only player here able to defend your title as Champions 2023 winner. So do you feel that makes you a bit more confident coming into this match, or do you feel like there's more of a target on your back? Tell us about this homecoming to the champion stage.
Definitely a target on my back, but I think overall, like, the team's coming in confident. We have a lot of experience on this team. We've gone through the highs and lows together, so I think we have everything we need to go for it.
Well, I think this match is really hype and everyone's excited to see it, so good luck.
Thank you.
And without a doubt, this team has gone through many highs and lows this season. Whatever issues Leviatan might have had this year, though, there is one thing that you cannot deny, and that is that Aspas might actually officially be the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, if he manages to get a title here, listen, I don't know if we've got a stat card to make the head-to-head comparison with him and LeBron, but if we can get that, we might be able to see it. But listen, this guy is punching for titles. He's punching to great history. And statistically, he was an anomaly across all regions. Listen, I know that they're all contained in their own little bubbles regionally, but top of the board, if you combine all the statistics, he's been on the top. And he's been doing it against, honestly, some heated competition in Americas.
Yeah, it's insane. And on top of that, we've seen kind of a new Aspas come out this year. First of all, taking the risk to, for the first time in his career, play on a non-Portuguese speaking roster. That is tough. He spent all of his career, all of his life in Brazil speaking Portuguese. He's moved to LA last year for Loud, but his English wasn't perfect. He had to learn the language and improve through his time on this roster. But now when you hear him in interviews, hear him talk to his teammates, he's gotten so much more comfortable in that skill. On top of that, he's also playing new agents. He's playing Neon on 3 maps, which is something he was never known for before, and it has looked excellent, in my opinion.
He is such a typical athlete player as well. You know, you see the real top dogs in most sports where they have these routines that they go into. This guy always has the same routine when he leads in. He's always leaning back, meditating during these. He's visualizing how he's going to be peaking angles at most points when he's in these timeouts. He's always just ice cold, and it showcases in his consistency, because there's no player, I don't think, currently playing the game that has that level of consistency that Aspas can put out. Game in, game out, map in, map out. It's unbelievable right now what he's putting up.
When they surveyed all the pro players for their most likely to vote, he was most likely to succeed in a traditional sport. So
really?
Maybe there's something there.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Dude,
that's wild.
I was on the money.
When they asked all the players here who they want to play.
No, that was real. I think.
I didn't find out it's wrong. I mean, you ask all the players here who they want to play. They all want to play against Aspas because the guy is, as you said, he is truly an anomaly, a talent above all talents. The guy is incredible, but a lot of pressure on his back. And also, he's going to be going up against Primi, who is now coming into this roster. You know, I think a lot of people were unsure of what we were going to be getting out of Primi, but he's here on this talent team. He's contributed so much. He's elevated them a lot here to this point, but now he's going to face his toughest challenge yet.
His addition to the roster was insanity. For those that don't know, Primi has never played pro play at a tier 1 level. He's played a couple smaller tournaments, but he was known as a ranked demon. #1 on the Southeast Asia leaderboard. They pick him up going into playoffs where they have 1 match to play, 1 match to win to make champions, and in his first ever tier 1 pro game, he goes nuclear. The first round he plays, a 4K, and they qualify to champions.
Yeah, this guy, he is the real deal in terms of his individual skill. But the trouble with champs is you need more than just every individual popping off. You need foundational team play. You need good map pools. You need good strategies and protocols for whatever you're going to be facing. And Talon, in my time watching them play these VODs, I feel like they are a little bit loose in almost all of those aspects apart from the individuals. And Primi is almost this one-person show at some point. You know, you see Boys pops off occasionally alongside him, but he can't just carry the weight. He's not going to be able to deadlift 1v9 against a team like Leviatan, where almost every player on Leviatan is going to be capable of stepping up to the moment.
Yeah, I think that is the difference, right? Talon is a team that is very much defined in this at least newest edition in playoffs by a star player. Even though they have Aspas, I don't think Leviatan is defined by Aspas. They have players who are top level. Mazino was the MVP of the Americas Finals. Tex is doing the same kind of things. But when I watch this guy play, it is clear that he is a special talent. Maybe he's a little unrefined. You see him overheat sometimes, make some mistakes around the team's macro as kind of a unit. But individually, he is ridiculous. Yes, I think some of the best crosshair placement I have ever seen from a player. It is always perfection. And his reaction times, even amongst pro players, are ridiculously short.
It really reminds me of when I was watching clips of Caron, when he was getting picked up trying to find out stuff about him. And I was like, this guy's game IQ is off the charts in the moments, in those little individual things, the movement, the aim.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, the individual small details, that's what got them to the dance. But now they're going to need to give us a little bit more. What does this Talon roster bring to the table? And what they do do is you're a little bit of a wild card, right? They like to do different things, and one of the things that they like to do is this zombie comp, as it has been called here, where they use the KO, the Phoenix, the Sage, the Clove to try and just constantly bring people back into the fold.
The thing is, they're not even like playing that anymore on Ascent.
Yeah.
They switch back to default
And
comp.
it's wild.
In interviews, their coach Frost has claimed that they have 2 comps for every map. Do I believe him? No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And even
I
if
mean,
that's true, do I think they're going to be as rehearsed as they could be? Probably not. But they are unique in the sense that they are willing more than maybe any other team besides PRX to change their comps, to change their map vetoes, as you were talking about, and show up with seemingly new random looks in every game, but they look fairly rehearsed. There's always some good idea behind it, even if it's not perfect.
And I think if you're a team like Talon, where you know fundamentally you're going to be lacking compared to some of the other top teams that are gunning for a trophy at this event, wildcard picks and wildcard compositions are going to be where you're going to need to lean your strength on. Trying to throw teams off in terms of either preparation on you, trying to anti you, or just even making them test and adapt them over the course of a series and a map.
Yeah.
The issue is that Leviatan is one of the best fundamental teams at this event. They are so sound. Any mistake given to them, they will punish.
Yeah, no, Talon knows that for sure. Let's actually go ahead and check in with Cruz, who's standing by with Mika.
Hey Cruz, what's going on? How are you feeling? Well, it's been a while since we've seen you on the global stage, and you clearly are one of the veterans on the team and pretty much on the entire VCT global stage because you were there at the very first champion. So how did you prep the rest of the team for what's to come, especially up against a team like Leviatan?
I just told them to play our game, and I brought my nephews to fight against the uncles.
You brought your nephews, like Primi. Primi is your nephew.
Yes. So I want the young ones to carry me, basically.
Well, best of luck to the team.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
We heard Cruz there basically saying he's hoping the young guns are going to carry him. I relate to that, okay, personally speaking. So I hear you there. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot weighing on these young men to try and push them past the, you know, to that next round, if you will, in this competition.
But to the credit of them, I think as well, if you're coming into a matchup and you know that you are just unbelievable underdogs, there is that level of pressure, I think, that should just wash off of your back immediately as you step up there. Because you're not expected to win this matchup. It's the #1 seed of Leviatan, where they have an impeccable map pool, they have fundamentally incredible players, they have champions, they have all the qualities of a team that should be gunning to win the event.
Yeah, and then, of course, you know, you got to deal with guys like this. The MVP of America's Mazo, the guy was absolutely clinical in that final series against G2. Such a dynamic talent for this team.
Mazo was my GOAT, I think, in this. Honestly, for all of Stage 2 playoffs.
I actually feel so bad that he has to play with Aspas. He's so good, and people never talk about him because he gets overshadowed.
And it's his movement and his aim, I think, that's really impressed me, because this guy, he's of the likes of, you know, the real Phantom abusers like Texture, and I think Zekken's using a Phantom these days as well, but where they're just jarring a movement, they're never easy to hit, they're crouching it up, they're mixing it up all the time, and they are always offsetting it, but the aim is so snappy at the same time with this Mazo guy. I watch him play, it's phenomenal.
But for me, I'm also so impressed by his utility on his variety of agents. He plays Harbor, and I think he's the second best, maybe behind Tui's Harbor player, at least in Americas. He is really, really on point. I've never seen him miss a wall, and he has so much kind of depth in the different ideas he has on that agent. You watch him go over and play Breach, and again, he's really quick to react with the utility. He's setting Aspas up perfectly, and he's doing all this while it's not affecting his individual form, and he's still almost always top 2 on the scoreboard for Lev.
Yeah, Mazo is certainly going to be an X factor for this team. But before we get into today's action, let's have a little fun, shall we? All right? It's time for a South Korea pop quiz, baby! Oh, and this is exciting because, see, here's a fun fact. You may not know this, folks at home. Bren basically lives here at this point, right? Because his lovely girlfriend, Alice, who's watching right now, and we love very much, and we hope you're having a great time, is watching. And if he loses this game, it will be quite embarrassing and detrimental to his relationship. Is that right, Brent?
Actual couch speedrun. If I get any question wrong, I'm sleeping on the couch, I'm in the dog kennel, I think she's got her parents to watch at the same time.
Her Korean parents.
Yeah, I think she's told her Korean parents to watch at the same time, and I can't get any.
So you're gonna ace it.
Let's get into the game. All right, first question: which number is considered unlucky in South Korea?
Oh, okay, this is 4.
4?
Yeah.
All right.
I
okay.
wouldn't have gotten that.
I believe it's 4.
Okay.
If
well,
I'm wrong, then I'm walking off the desk.
you said
immediately.
that with your whole chest,
did.
dog.
I know 13 is like generally unlucky. 11
Yeah.
has a bad vibe to it.
Yeah.
But
All right.
If I get this wrong,
it
I'm
should be
done.
4.
I'm
4?
actually just done.
All
I'm
right,
going to go with
let's
4.
see. And the answer is, I'm actually quite curious here.
Oh,
4.
my God.
The word 4 in Korean sounds similar to the word for death. Oh, my. Did not know that. Today I learned. Okay.
Okay.
Sick. All right, here we
Good
go.
work.
Another one. This actually might be one for Mimi. All right. Seoul, the capital city, is considered to be a mega city, meaning that it has at least this many residents.
I know
10
the
million,
answer.
25
I'm phoning
million,
a
3
friend.
million, or 1 million.
I'm phoning a friend.
It's 10 million.
It's 10
It's
million.
10 million.
10 million. Survey says. Let's see what we got here.
It's 10 million, but also megacity is kind of like, I don't know how real it is. It's like
Yeah.
there's not actually a lot of megacities out there. Also, LA, under that definition, depending on how you count like the statistical area, which is really weird. It's hard to define
Yeah.
how big a city actually is
Yeah.
in population.
Yeah.
This people don't
Go
care
off,
about
go
this.
off, go off, go off.
Honestly,
No, seriously, go off.
I'm
But
in it.
it's really hard to set the boundaries. Do you
Okay.
include the suburbs? Are they a part of it? How does that differentiate for a less dense city like Los Angeles versus Seoul or something?
Yeah,
It's hard to know.
yeah.
But it's 10 million.
You know what's crazy? When I was your age, I knew none of that. So, shout out to the Bronx public education system. All right,
you have
here we
no
go.
reason to know that.
Next question: Banpo Grand Bridge, over the Han River holds a Guinness World Record for what? Fun fact: I'm also a
Oh,
Guinness
this
World
is the
Record
bridge
holder.
that has like the water and the lights off of it, and there's a pedestrian bridge underneath it.
What are the answers? I don't.
What were the answers? You
That's
got-
a good. I didn't read them.
I didn't
No,
get
no,
to
no.
see the
It
answers.
didn't. It didn't come up yet.
It didn't show the
Pulling
answers.
it up. They're writing it up as we speak.
They're
Yeah,
writing?
they're going
and
like
also
this.
changing
scribbling.
the answers to make sure that I get it wrong, so that I'm in trouble.
But so far, though, you guys are 2 for 2. So
Yes.
you're not on the couch
Brent
yet.
knew the first one. I knew the second one.
All right. Did we get that
Yes.
question up, or was the graphic messed up? It's fine. It doesn't matter. All
never
right.
know.
You know what? We got the question right. There we go.
Did
We're
we?
so smart. I don't care. Now, here we go. Now, this is our next question. How many gold medals does South Korea currently have in this Paris Summer Olympics? Which, by the way, if you haven't been watching the Olympics, it's freaking incredible.
This is all you, Brent.
I haven't been watching the Olympics. I do know that at some point South Korea was leading in terms of medals
Oh,
because
wait.
they pop off at archery and
I know this.
marksmanship. I'm
I know
gonna
this number.
guess.
I know this number. Oh,
I'm gonna guess and say 7.
I
The
think it's
marksmanship stuff.
13. I think it's 13.
There
gold
have been a
medals,
lot of
though.
events played.
Yeah.
Gold medals is.
Yeah, I think it's 13. Because they're above the U.S. The U.S. right now has 9 gold medals, and they're sitting
Here's
above the
the
U.S.
thing.
I
Brent's
believe.
answer is, well, it might only be 13 right now, but it's going to be 45 by the end of the event because
That's true.
Korea
Let's see
is
the
the
number.
best country
Korea is the best
and
country
so good
in
at
the
sports.
world and so excellent at sport.
I
There
want to
you
see.
go.
I want to see if I'm right. Oh,
It was
7.
7.
Oh, you're right.
I'm
Okay.
saved.
Good,
I'm
well done.
actually saved. I'm not sleeping on the couch.
I
Thank God.
messed up. Oh,
16
man.
total, though.
Look
That's
at that.
pretty
That's why you don't
impressive.
listen to me. That's why you don't listen to me. All right. Well, there you go. Bren, congratulations, man.
I was more nervous for that than I was for the Madrid Grand Finals cast. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
That's anxiety inducing.
You
Yeah.
have dodged the couch for this day, but there's always going to be another opportunity for you to
Don't
fail
say that.
spectacularly on air.
Don't
All right.
say that.
Well, it's time for the results of our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you lovely people which of the first seeds will go furthest at Champion Seoul, and y'all said Gen G, which, again, I can't disagree
Yes.
with that. I got them winning the whole tournament.
They're going to win the event.
Like,
Yeah, I'm storyline
I
build.
still can't believe artists predicted them to not even qualify.
Well, that's because Ardis is from the UK, and most people from the UK, speaking for myself as well, have one singular brain cell that we say. Yeah. So, listen, no disrespect to him, but I've met a lot of people from the UK. I'm from the UK. I can speak with confidence on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Gen G, I'm storyline pilled. The people are storyline pilled. They won an
Yeah.
event,
Yeah.
got a back-to-back trophy, been in almost every
win it
single
in
finals.
Korea,
To win it
too?
in Korea, dude,
That'd be
that
so
would be.
sick.
That'd be hype as hell. That'd be hype as hell. All right, well, let's
I
take a
do
look.
think
Oh,
Lev a little robbed there. Lev is sick.
That's fair.
For me, like Lev and Fnatic are like neck and neck for my second place, like other finalists.
It really is a toss-up. That's what makes this event so awesome. But the predictions, well, not so much
Okay.
a toss-up
Yo.
unless
Okay.
you are
Clinton
paper thin.
is off the goop.
Okay.
That's just
Where is this
that's
man right
just
now?
not true.
He is not here. I looked over at Mitch and Tom, and they're nodding. They're like,
I am so confident that this is a Leviatan win. I'm going to say why. Because Talon, I think their strength is off-kilter ideas, coming up with new comps, things like that can push a team off guard. And I think their other strength is their star player, Primi, who is absolutely excellent. But I think when I contrast that with LEV, they are the best at shutting down stars, at not giving away opportunities. Their fundamentals were so clean in Americas, and I think 3 of their players are just as good mechanically as Primi.
Yeah, I think so.
And if Talon wins, I'm back to this. I'll eat Wingman.
You'll eat him?
I'll eat him.
That's a crazy statement.
You can't just like eat Wingman.
I am so high on Leviatan.
Okay, you know what? I'll hold you to it. If Talon gets the dub, looks like we're eating Wingman, stuffed animal, by the way, live on air. But it's now time to get this show started. It's Leviatan versus Talon, Vitality versus Trace. Day 3 of Champions Seoul starts right now.
I've been like cooking a theory in my head for a long time that it doesn't matter who you have on the team, it matters how well connected these 5 people on the team are. Bombing out of split 1 first, and then I lost my grandpa. And then coming back from that funeral, I had to go into playoffs. But what I was surprised by is that I had 4 other people stepping up for me. It was like our playoffs qual game.
Strikes, Elite's there too, and difficult to root out a position with Sing having it all on his shoulders. He's done it again. What a legend of this game.
My teammate walked up to me. I said, "That's for Grandpa." And then I started crying.
This series is going to live long in his mind. I can't imagine where the emotions are at after that game.
And I think the most difficult part for me was accepting that other people can actually be there for you. I rely on my teammates a lot. I just want them to know that you are good enough to be here. You've earned your right to be here now. So just be happy.
当确定来了冠军赛之后呢，就是会有那种可能不真实的那种感觉吧。这是我们值得啊，这是我们值得的事情，这是我们应该获得的结果。我觉得 Vitality 是一支很有冲击力的一支队伍吧。我觉得 Safe 就是他们队内可能最强的那一个点吧。那我希望我们和小蜜蜂能带给大家一场很精彩的比赛。
It feels like coming back home in a way. I'm the last one standing of the XEG. The one mission I have is to go back to back. I know how much hard work it took for all those individuals last year, and I'm kind of bringing on that legacy with me this year.
It was our goal as a team that we will do anything in our power to make it to champs. I always wanted to show the true potential of Thai players on the big stage.
Every champion that I've been through, I've been confident. The only difference is that now I'm more experienced and I am better than I was before.
Leviatan is a mechanically gifted team. They have Aspas, but we have Primi.
I'm very excited to the match against Talon. I'm sure that it's gonna be a very good match.
Talon Music Sports. Leviatan.
A massive opportunity for Talon Esports here to do the unthinkable. Manage to shut down the America's champions. But let's be honest with everyone here today. It is going to be a tall task to do it. You're looking at some giants on the other side of the stage in Leviatan. But one thing is for certain, we are expecting some fireworks, and it should be a pretty damn fun game.
There was questions whether Leviatan was ready in big games. They proved it in America's playoffs. This is their chance to prove it here at Champions. And as we've seen before from Talon, they're throwing a surprise in the map veto.
Yeah, just to hone in on that real quick as well. Talon, it's part of the course, I think, for them to ban the best map of their opponents. They take out Icebox. Leviatan look amazing on that map. But they picked Bind. I don't think they played that since May.
No.
It's a map that they haven't played much. And from what we know of Talon, they love to run wildcard picks. I mean, if they're picking it, I'm sure they've got something cooked up.
And remember, they've only played 3 games with Primi on this roster. One was the win that got them here, the other 2 were losses. So I think the biggest question is now with more time practicing with Primi, integrating him into this roster and trying out new maps, what are they going to pull out?
I will say this much, though. When you look at the stats from the past, right, probably part of the reason why they went with the bind pick was that G2 did manage to beat Leviatan on this map 2 times. That being said, it was freaking G2, so it's a different situation.
And I don't even want to like discount it. Like Talon can't be as good as a team like G2. I think it's really stylistically. G2 plays really well into Leviatan. They are the slowest, most default-heavy team. They're really focused on mid-rounding, on that kind of stuff. Talon is a mastermind in that regard. When I think of Talon, it's a lot more set ideas, faster plays, things like that. I don't think they're as strong in the mid-rounds, and I think that this is a difficult nut to crack with Leviatan. And that is what the hell is going on?
What in the hell are they doing?
Okay, so let's start with Talon. Neon, Yoru.
Okay, don't ask me. Where's your post-plant denial? I'll say for one. No Brim Molly, no Raise Nade, no Gecko Mosh Pit.
And on defense, where's your stall? You only have the Viper there.
Dude, but at the end of the day, it's an FPS game, so maybe if they shoot really well, they'll win.
But you know, when I see this, though, what this tells me is that Talon wants to get in their face, and they want to do it round after round. That's what that says to me.
I mean, this is what you want, to come out with something crazy to catch your opponent off guard. This is going to be a tough game for King, for Itopata to try to adapt to a comp that they probably never scrimmed before.
Dude, I'm just cackling at the
What is the Yoru even? That's
you just want to fight. You have flashes, you want to fight, you want to fight, you want to fight, you want to fight all the time. Paranoia, flashes, neon stuns to set you up.
5 flashes, 1 stun.
Constantly brawling, I think, with this comp is the only way.
Wow, I did not see that composition coming, but
who could have?
That's Talon, baby. That's Talon, and we're in for a good one. Let's see how this all unfolds. We're ready for map 1. We're going to send it over to your casters. My beautiful ball brother from another mother. You got Tom and then that other guy.
Thank you so much, GB. The other guy and Tom here. Yeah, I'm excited for this one. We heard a lot about Talon from the guys behind the scenes about how crazy their comms can be, but this, Tom, this might just take the cake.
Yeah, someone's been cooking, and I'm not sure how it smells. I think we'll find out very soon. I'm excited to see it, because ultimately, do I believe they could go in with normal standard comps and win this game? Absolutely not. I don't think they stand a chance. And the fact that they haven't played this map since stage 1 makes me think that, okay, they have to come up with something different, something new, something innovative. So they picked a map they don't play for a while, and then they've come out with this, which I think is going to be exciting to watch. Whether it's good or not, I don't know. And I want to add in one thing.
Go.
A Cruise team up against an Americas team in the early stages of a tournament. Somewhere out there, Finesse is panicking.
Well, let's see if Talon taste as good as they smell. That sounded differently in my head. Leviatan on the defensive side for pistol round. A lot of investment. We got Sheriffs and Ghosts with Mazzino, one of the highlight players for me. This guy stands out in the stats. I saw your tweet, Tom, and that's for sure. This composition from Talon, it might be able to put Lev on the back foot.
Already. We know this man's going to end up sitting at the top of the scoreboard.
Portal closed.
It's just whether or not there's anyone on the other side who can stop him. Primi's the man we've been looking at, but taking that initial fight, well, it is going to be Primi to get the kill. Trade is there, and now King steps up, leaving just a couple to try and stand, make it just 1. Jip Boy's on the wrong side of the map, plenty of time. And okay, that was a nice shot. A couple more of those, he might have a chance.
Yeah, listen, a few players are low, but that dropout of Hookah is deadly, and they're all stacked up, ready to take the fight clean in the late stage of the round. Leviatan up 1-0. The pistol is theirs, but when the rifles come out, this Yoru from Primi, I'm very excited for what it can do. Cause them to stay in the back lines and maybe, yeah, like I said, put them on the back foot, but this probably isn't the round where we'll see that.
Yeah, it's interesting. It seems like this round at least they had crews lurking on the other side of the map on the Omen. Like we see that sometimes with the controller. Basically putting him into position to maybe try and throw a fake in or something like that. So we have to see how that continues throughout. I also like that we've seen a couple of sort of role switches. We had Messino, I believe, in the past playing that Brimstone, and to bring in the Sky, him on the Sky, they've actually swapped things up a little bit. Again, seconds into the round, it's going to be Aspas with another opener. And I don't blame them for avoiding the sniper and going back the other way.
Yeah, look, you got no shields. There's no point fighting an outlaw in general. And when it's in the hands of Aspas, yeah, definitely look for the other side of the map. Weaker weapons do await them there. But again, the dropout, always going to be dangerous. Someone like a Neon could definitely close the distance, but now that's not an option. We'll look to Primi to try to find that space. Sky flash out, and they've dropped. Already getting pretty close. Now the danger is certainly there for Calm. He's not even able to grab the one. Overwhelmed by the numbers on the site. A plant secured, a small upgrade for Talon. The plant to be secured now. Better position. It looks like they'll try to fight Mazzino for long control.
Spike planted.
Yeah, I was about to say, heal, get back up to a decent position. The problem is that none of that weaponry has been retrieved. But it's also, other than that sniper, a relatively low investment in this round. Rifles not available for the side of Leviatan. I don't imagine that they expected there was ever going to be a plant in this round. Primi going to try and play up close. We've heard a lot about this guy and what he can do, but this was not the time for it, unfortunately. And now they're all just going to get slaughtered. One man standing, and the last man gone as well.
Well, that was certainly set up to be a very difficult retake, trying to fight their way back through. You saw a little bit of caution from Leviatan, playing anti-flash, waiting for the re-execute of Talon, but I guess the attacker's game plan, grouping up, healing, and then taking that 3v1 it would have been on B long, just disrupted by the fact that Leviatan grouped 2 in spawn, 2 in hookah, retake nicely. But look, getting the plant down at least, getting the 1 kill, it doesn't end up coming through for any real economy damage. Leviatan are pretty healthy when it comes to those credits, but here come the rifles for Talon, and we're going to get to see the real game plan behind these agents. Again, you have a Yoru, you have a Neon, the ability to quickly turn the tide of a fight that you set up is there. The only question is if they can find success against a squad of this caliber.
Hello. Immediate push through Governor. He's going to run into 2 players, though. Very much solo, very much away from the rest of the team, and that's the one rifle. That's something I want to mention. Aspas has now bought into a Vandal. He's chucked his sniper over to Tex, but they're still playing with SMGs. Normally nowadays you don't see this hard a bonus round. You have teams like having 3, 4 rifles.
Yep.
So this is a round that Talon can't afford to lose. It would be such a boost to the economy of their opponents.
Yeah, the free upgrades would be there, as they already have been in part. Kings recovered that Vandal, and now Talon 4 versus 5. Slightly better weapons for Leviatan, a little bit of damage done, but it's Jit Boys down to 30. A little bit of heal to come through. They've at least secured themselves 1 kill, but off that pick, they're not quick enough to take the site control. Leviatan have rotated in, and by the time they go for this hit, and Tom, it does look like they're still going to go for this hit. There's going to be 3 players waiting on site, 2 rifles as well. This is not an easy take by any metric, and Jit Boys has gone down ahead of the take. Now Aspas is farming on the site. 4 already, dropped by Primi and left to a 1v1. Already a successful bonus and a chance for a little bit more with Tex on the Outlaw.
Tex is playing it patient, though. All in all, a pretty successful round already for the side of Lev, but at this stage, you still got your sniper. You're going to sit there and hope that you can take this one over the line. Flash is going to give the game away, and he's teleporting quite far from the site. He's not got enough time! Oh, no! Oh, dear.
Well, they've won their bonus round, Tom.
Oh, dear, that's not good.
Dizzy, the MVP of this round. You know, Panic? Panic, I guess, I assume?
Hey, he's fairly new. We'll give Primi a break. He's only come in very recently for this squad. He's only been on the Pacific stage a few times.
Second game of Yoru, but I'm sure he's played it a lot in rank. That is a disappointing way to lose out in the round. You can see Leviatan's coaching staff, Ida Pata, having a little laugh at the end. That's a relief of a round handed to Leviatan. And now 3-0, a phenomenal start. Sure, they don't get to save over all those weapons. It wasn't flawless by any stretch of the imagination, but they will be happy with what they've acquired. Showstopper online for Aspas after a big round in the last. Here's Yoru taking control over Lamps. Nade greets him, and he's down to 7. He already tagged heavy. That's going to give a good chance for Aspas to delete him later on with the Outlaw.
The goal will be for Talon to try and get into some of these closer range positions. Aspas, he seems well aware of what Cruz has attempted. And just with the amount of delay they currently have, in fact, look at where the Leviatan players are. Never mind, look at where they were. Jip Boys has managed to already drop 2. And this round now looks doable.
It does, with Aspas on 8 HP especially. Even that Showstopper might not be able to be used. He'll be shot out of the sky with just the 1 bullet, and he was almost wall-banged out of the round. They know that King's around this position. The bait doesn't work. Governor's now trapped in a corner, worried about the peek out from heaven, and King soon to look for that kill. Orbital strike to push him into the open. Leviatan feeling confident, and then they should be. Down goes Ban, it's only Governor, 1v3, low on Aspas, and he gets the first. Adjustment's almost there. King dodges the shot to the head, but they have to push into him. Snakebite not covering him. He has a small angle, and King's about to swing into it. Question is, will he wait for the support? The wall bangs force him down to 50 already, but Governor's tag low as well. Low enough for King to survive that onslaught for his 3rd kill in the round, and 4-0 we go. Talon, they didn't invest a lot though, and they made this look doable at a point.
Yeah, I think Jip Boys was the main part of that round. Being able to hit a couple of shots, we know that this guy has definitely got some crispy aim in his back pocket. It's just been a quieter start for the rest of the team. Governor at least able to find, I believe, his first in that round, but for Ban and Cruz, we haven't really seen too much, and I think going back in with another buy, it's going to be fairly important that they get themselves onto the scoreboard soon. Bear in mind that this is the map that they've chosen, the one that they're going for, and then Ascent up next. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to say their chances are around the 5% mark. I think I think Leviatan have looked incredible on that map.
Yeah, Talon essentially got a choice of Icebox or Ascent, whichever one I think Leviatan would be happy to play.
Although we did think that with FPX.
Yeah, no, you know what, fair enough. There's always that chance, but Tom, if it's a slow start, if it keeps going this way, I'm not going to feel too confident about the bounce back coming into the next. We need to see Talon showing up. And like I said, last round, there was some serious promise there. They got a good amount of kills. It looked winnable at a point, and just a fight or two. Primi losing
out an ult as well.
Yeah, they got rid of the orbital strike. And if Primi wins that duel on Bath, they might even win the round. But that's not how it goes down this time. And now coming into the bye round, that Showstopper's still there for Leviatan. They've upgraded to an operator as well. The defensive side has so much to work with, and the Bath control challenged by Primi. He's the only one here. If King wins this fight, you're cutting it down to just a one-angled approach, and they've heard the steps. They know that he's about here.
That's the ult at least. That was the goal.
He's using it.
Immediately used, and we'll have to force King back. The rest of the team making their way through middle, but they've left Governor behind. He's trying to catch someone as they rotate, and actually, the whole team is going to rotate. They haven't pulled anyone, though. Haven't moved. That kill's so important. Mazzino, we've spoken about him being a hero, but it's only going to be the one. The trade, fantastic, and the best opportunity we've seen so far. Ban trying to play aggressively, though, and that might be a problem.
Yeah, that hasn't worked out. Primi grabs their eyes, and the back swing from Governor alongside Jip Boy secures the round. Talon, 1 round on the board. A nice fake on A. Some risks taken. Primi's control over Bath if that goes awry, and the advantage is there for Leviatan, but the ult, once that's online, they see the players, and I think, yeah, they assumed that there was going to be some form of rotation, but even with Mazzino catching them off guard and finding 1 kill, he's shut down immediately.
The big kill was his first one. This entry, like you see comms caught with utility in hand, and from then on it's all dominoes, because they were very low on the clock. They're leaving that 15, 20 seconds left. If Com's still alive at the back, that's a much, much tougher take. The fact that Governor, as a solo lurk, eliminates him is great. And look at the economy already. Okay, Governor. He's feeling it with this Neon. They've taken down Aspas as well. Well, this round is already over.
Yeah, pretty much. You're down to Com and Mazzino, weak weapons to try to clutch it back. Last round, too, Aspas tried to use the Showstopper, so that's not there for them even in the future. Good recovery early on in the half by Talon. Looks to be 4-2. And they're even moving the right direction. Yeah, the only advantage that you would have here for Leviatan is if Talon go blindly pushing into you. Maybe Cruz TPs into heaven, gets taken down by the Stinger, someone walks blindly into Lamps, but...
So basically if they do something really dumb.
Yeah. And we saw that when they had pistols out, but you're not going to do that with rifles. Instead, it's just a direct approach to B. They're going to walk in, get a free plant, and from that point, Leviatan, I mean, they're not going to consider saving. They try to make this a costly round. The economy starting to get pretty healthy for the attackers after last two.
The fact that they won it fairly clean. I think there was a slight upgrade, at least for Mazzino. So although their economy should be good for the next round, he may consider just looking for an exit and then holding on to the gun. And for Com, well, if he saves the Bucky, he's lost the plot. I don't think there's any realm where that happens. I think he's looking to try and get closer to the spike, but ultimately, he's going to win a 1v1 with a classic versus a rifle. Yeah, fair enough. That is an upgrade worth saving. Can just head back. I think he may get caught by Cruz, but he's definitely aware of the angle. He's going to win that fight as well. 2 kills. I spoke about exits. I don't think they're ever going to get more than that. And he gets an upgrade.
Yeah, both players will get upgrades out of that, and you're nice and comfy. I mean, they already have the rifle on Mazzino, so there's no need to go down to that spike. Carry it forward to the next. A little injection of economy for them. Side of Talon, building up ultimates, but really, the guy drawing your eye. We talk a lot about Primi, but it's Governor. The way that he's able to take space so quickly, like we said 2 rounds ago, catching Calm off guard with util in hand, and then this time, the stun goes in, the dash, and then again, another little cha-cha slide in for the third. Beautiful stuff from this man, and well, he got to farm up some of those eco kills. He got the entry in the last. Let's see what he can do here. Coming into round 7, rifles for all.
I also feel like with this sort of agent, with this sort of comp, you need him just being as confident as he is. Even if it doesn't work every single time, just not falling back. And he is. He's going straight back for it. Past the Molotov. King's trying to bait out the idea that he's retreated. He's still going forward. He ran through all of the util. Okay, I've maybe a little bit of an injection of fear, but the rest of the team have still capitalized. Primi holding his ground on the flank. They've kept this advantage, but for a moment, as Cruz again attempts to TP, this is absolute chaos. Back into a 2v2 scenario. Ult popped as well by Primi, and now it's just one. Again, we talk about this man. The Prince of Pacific, the new blood, but I don't even know if he's going to peek this in time, and not quite quick enough. Com will take his head off and give a 5th round to Leviatan.
Well, Tom, you mentioned that Governor needed to have that confidence, maybe a little less confidence than what we saw in that round. Just a small bit less. That was a little crazy. Popped up the fast lane, tried to take the space, and you know, you can pump the brakes every now and then. A timeout for Talon on the back of that round, and somewhat expected. This was pure chaos, and Aspas being able to survive towards Lambs, grab that little bit of extra space. Again, the TP up into heaven for Cruz, just not working out. We've seen it a couple of times now, and there's always that extra player to catch him off.
That's the thing, even though Governor goes down, there were moments in this round where it was even, multiple times, just because they are pulling Leviatan into the chaos that they want.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't for, as you said, a player getting caught off trying to TP, Cruz currently having a rough time, maybe he left a little bit further back, or even just when that 2v2, I think it's Primi in his ultimate and the other player ends up getting caught. It's like, if they can go from absolute chaos into a little bit more synergy, I actually think that these rounds are going to be much harder for Leviatan to play than if, again, you're trying more set executes, because they are losing so much ground instantly just to the stuff that Governor is doing. The credit you have to give those that Leviatan are adapting. Like, they are very quick with the rotation. Like, Com has been that B-side player. He was on the flank so fast. Like, he knows that this is a commitment with what he was able to find on the other side of the map. And I think that's going to be the main thing. If they can spot where this push is coming, it becomes a lot easier for them to hold their ground.
Yeah, and you know, some of the things they're missing, like Cruz going up into heaven, you imagine there's a smoke there, a Yoru flash behind it, and they can peek in. It even for Governor's initial entry, you pump the brakes, wait for mosh pit. Once it's gone, flash out, fast lane, you're taking sight. Like, we're not seeing that synergized level. Sometime coming down to those individual plays that aren't working out, but you can understand it. Like we said, the confidence for Governor was high after the last couple. He's done some damage and forced out the Viper's Pit in the first couple seconds.
Like, you could see that Covy's going, he might just run it down. I want to make sure that my pit's set up, but also that I'm within it and safe. So he just has to use his U2 immediately. And this time they haven't just executed off it. Maybe they were scared away. Jitboys, though, is going to be challenged. But this guy's aim is so crispy. 2 players dead. A third one there. And the third one is probably the one you're most scared of.
Yeah, it would be. Staying tucked in as well. Is Aspas going to overstay his welcome there? Talon go back towards it, they'd be in trouble. And you have Calm sat inside the pit, cautious that someone could be dropping out, trying to make a play out of Hookah. And, well, based on the icons on the map, that might be exactly what we're going to get. Still sitting around mid is Cruz, looking for the fight. Paranoia goes through. That's ultimately just keeping players in position on A. The full executes the B site. They're going to bypass the pit and leave Calm basically out of the round. He has to fight from a not so favorable angle. Instead, he's just going to give it up, drop the pit, and play the retake with his squad. But the re-pit from Talon, that's secure in spawn side. They have a good idea where Com is, that's for sure. And Mazzino's known to be towards A. This round seems to be tied up in a nice bow.
The only problem could be if they think Com is still towards long, because that's where the pit was. But even still, it would have to be a massive oversight for no one to think.
I think Ban is watching it.
And well, Mazzino's already been spotted. Not really an opportunity to get out of here either for Com, unless they're just going to completely abandon their posts. And I think he's just going to try and wait for them to back away and then do exactly the same himself, which is what he's managed to do. I think he will get out of this with the gun, so that's something at least. But again, it's these. I think the thing that's working out is firstly, Jip Boys. Whenever he's put in a position to frag, he has been unbelievable. But also, just the way that they're reacting. Like they didn't blitz through the pit this round. They didn't just try and run it down through. And because of that, you see the reaction of their opponents trying to find out. They need that info. They need to know where this take is coming. And when that happens, well, it becomes very easy for them to just sort of pick the rest apart.
Well, I think that it comes back to what you said a few rounds ago, Tom, the fact that this squad of Leviatan is adapting well. You're seeing this on the Talon side. They're constantly looking to do something else. If you're pushing A, you're making the noise there, they'll push B, they'll take the space. If you do nothing, well, let's sit in defaults and see what their adaptation is. And here it was to give Jip Boys 2 fights that he took, well, seemingly with ease. 5-3. Recovery from Talon clear in the early half. The attack side's not going to let this one slip. It's going to be more of the same for them. A little bit of noise on B, getting caught by the flash. Leviatan know there's players outside of it, but again, Jip Boys and Cruz holding down those A aggressive angles. Of course, though, Leviatan making the adjustment from last round. Last time we pushed and they were waiting. Now we'll just wait.
It still means they have to go for these gambles. Now, the thing is, they've got the flash still available with the Dizzy on Tex. And then a singular flash remaining for Mazzino. So he's got to time it well. The goal will either be to try and play it with the retake, which, considering how passive the A site players currently are, I think that might be the plan. Either that or just use that flash late, which is what he's doing right now, to get information. Nothing found on the B site. An aggressive push as well from Com. Now, Com doesn't have anything to play with in this round. He's literally just got himself this shorty. But with the control he's taking, they now know everything they need.
All the rifles stacked up. Thrash in heaven, ready to be fired out as soon as that deep space is taken. There's the fast lane. That is actually a Dizzy fired up and a drop down. That's Governor gone. Aspas doubling up, and then Tex comes into the fight. He's being pressured. Actually swings out a little wide. King's there for the trade afterwards, and with 12 seconds left, the pressure's on. Cruz needs to go for it. The shorty's chasing him down, grabbing a rifle. Com finishes it off. 6 on the board for Leviatan. The lead extended now and a chance to lock in the lead at the halftime.
You know as well the Com in that moment is going, me being alive and not throwing this is so much more important. Like, I need to play angles that only work with the shorty. But he's ultimately what wins them the round. Like, you can look at the numbers, you can look at the players that got the kills, but it was the flash that was thrown out long towards the B site, and then having that deep control into Hookah where he was able to get the information so everybody could flank. And it's exactly the same that happened a few rounds ago. He did the same thing where he gets in on a fast flank, and because of that, they have all the players there. Sure, you needed the likes of Aspas and others to hit the shots, but without that info, you can't stack that site.
Yeah, really important early round for Leviatan. And I wonder if Talon are going to make the adjustment. They're seeing that the Sky Flash, when it doesn't get contact, the aggression comes through. This time they have a player there tanking the flash. And early on, that's going to deny Leviatan the opportunity to walk up. For Leviatan, maybe they decide to go walkabouts elsewhere. That's why Jip Boys is still in this position. He had success before. He's just begging them to push down on short over on the A site, but that's not coming through. The dog not really finding too much information, just the one player spotted by it. And I think the idea is to make the noise, drag the rotations, and now they've got confirmation. They've heard the Brim smoke go down, so on Talon, you know that extra players come in. Typically, Brimstone, King has been on that A site. And I think they'll TP to A and take a quick hit.
The thing that makes me nervous is just the ults. The defensive side have so much to play with. They didn't need the Thrash for the last round. Orbital Strike available. They've got a Showstopper. You can't be hitting this site late. And while it's going to be 40 seconds, does Talon make their move?
Yeah, the rotations are already in. Leviatan again stacked up. They try to pressure after the ult goes through, but King, Tex, Aspas, they're all here. And there's still one man that's flown under the radar. Talon have Jit Boys on 26 HP. It's fair to say the responsibility sits with Cruz, and well, blink and you miss it. I'm not sure who died first if I didn't see the kill feed. 7-3. Leviatan guaranteed a lead at the half. The question is, by how much?
Yeah, I think we've gone from one extreme to another. Like in the early rounds, it was those blitzes through that took so much control, so much space, which made Leviatan have to adapt and start using utility early. You'd see really early Molotovs, really early snake bites. Now it's gone into this much slower pace. They're playing patiently, they're using the initiators to get the information, and then they're rotating with pretty much plenty of time to spare. I feel like Talon almost need to at least claim a little bit of map control early, just so that if they are going to go for one of these hits late in the round, they actually have some ground to go in and they haven't given everything over to their opponents.
I'm looking for the attack side ideas laid in. One orb away from Primy's ult, which found them a lot of success in clearing out sites, though I think still more can be desired from it. Will be online for the last round, at the very least. Maybe you can find it here. Push up towards A seems evident. Ban left on the other side of the map to cause some chaos. They've again caused that rotation to come through on B, but look, the dog's just gone down B long. It's seen absolutely nobody. Rotates now back to A, but this is the first time in a while that Talon are finding the site relatively undefended. And the kill goes in on the other side of the map. Chaos for Leviatan. They're picked off left, right, and center. Mazzino has the pressure on him. The whole squad coming towards him. Bar Jit Boys, who's left behind. A flash on the left, a swing on the right, but the dash keeps him alive. A little slide around for Governor, and with 7 HP, keeps the 5v1 in fruition.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of what Governor's doing is just irrational and annoying, but when you're sat on the other side, it's so difficult to play against. For King, finances are good. You're going to be going into the last round, so you might as well try and challenge this. And Governor, again, it's a flawless, but now going the other direction. And I like the adaptation. Like one of the things that we noted was how easy it was for Comp to push up. So they go for an initial fight towards that A site, and then they fall back and they just wait for him. Because he is going to push that, because he's succeeded doing it for 4 rounds in a row.
That is the adaptation. That's what we wanted to see. Coming into last round as well, Yoru ult's going to be online, and like I said, Talon have had some success with this. Having Primy lead the way, the rest of the squad cascading behind him, Governor quickly executing on that information. We'll see if Leviatan have an early strategy of their own, because I see a stack up towards this B site, ult used by Governor. The finger guns are out, but Jit Boy still having that success. Every time they push an angle, this guy's holding. He's good to double up and then some. Mazzino's going to try to deal with him now. Oh, and he's turned at just the wrong moment. But it doesn't seem to matter too much. A 4v2 with Governor's pick.
King's ult, it's been online for a while. I think Mazzino's still wary that they could be on the other side, but the plant's going to be denied. That will allow for a rotation. The fact is they could still go back if they wanted to. A hero desperately needed for the side of Leviatan, otherwise Talon will have at least been able to close the distance from the way that this half started. Don't know if they're going to be given anything, although a few fights offered up to King.
Still a flash for Ban if they need it. Same thing for Primy. Governor doesn't seem to want any help. Going in for the fights by himself. There's the Primy flash, and there's the closer. Great half from Governor and from Talon, recovering to a 7-5 scoreline. That's not bad. That is certainly manageable if Leviatan don't have a crazy attack side of their own.
Yeah, I think it's a few of those multi-frags that came out. I think Jit Boys did a very good job of just this incredible sort of fights. But either way, I believe we'll be back after a short break.
Oh, come on. Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Welcome back to half number 2 of Leviatan versus Talon. The first half, the attack side for Talon went according to plan. 5 rounds on the board, big contestation from this squad, and some hope of them being able to take this map. Ascent, the next map up, doesn't look quite so good for them, and looks very good for Leviatan. So if they're going to do it, we need them to do it here. We've said that before and it's been wrong, but I'm not so sure this time.
Yeah, we'll keep saying it. We'll keep being wrong. I don't mind. I don't mind. I think one of the sort of saving graces is when we saw this map play versus G2, it was a 8-4 defense for Leviatan, then they really struggled on the attack. I do feel like G2 are a bit of a different beast on this map, and especially with this composition. We were sort of talking about it during the halftime. It's like, how are you going to make a Neon Yoru defense work? And as I said, I have a lot of faith in Cruz, his imagination. I'm sure the coaching staff have come up with a lot of ideas. It's whether they work.
Whether they work, and whether they work versus Leviatan.
They've got 4 players B at the beginning of the round. This looks like almost a direct counter to whatever pistol they think their opponents have got planned. And the stun, decent, but they don't get anything off it.
Yeah, Tex was waiting for Primmy's peak, but even as he swings out now, he's caught. An opening duel for the side of Talon. They keep their control. And the players still looking to get aggressive around here. There's no need to rotate all too heavily. They've got themselves a nice early advantage. The question is now, with 4 players on B, as the timer ticks down, do they start to rotate?
Players over towards long.
4 long.
It's weird. They're almost playing this like an attack. Like, let's group up together. We got one lurker, our Viper, on the other side of the map.
Here we go.
And well, another one coming up. Mazzino trades one, but Ban's done well. Calm on the lurk. But he probably knows now that there isn't going to be anyone else here. It's whether or not Aspas can actually retrieve this spike.
No blast packs to get him in and out. And Cruz quickly takes his head off. Calms flank all that remains of the round. And like you said, the spike is down. He's going to have to probably TP to go and get that. That would give him away. Instead, he's rotating the loud way, the long way. And, well, Ban has already spotted him. He's put in a box. 20 seconds left. 4 kills. Spike plant. And next to no time to do it. The spams are really what it comes down to, and there's a man right behind him with a knife out. No, okay. Thank you, Cruz. Let's applaud Cruz for that one. He's saved at least a little bit of pride for Calm. 7-6, the pistol for Talon. The gap's closing.
Yeah, I think Cruz maybe needed to kill a little more. He's been having a rough one so far, but I'm sure he would have wanted to humiliate Com just as much as anybody else on that team. But you can see, again, they're playing such a hard game to read. Like 4 players over towards this B site right off the rip. They must have been convinced in their read on what Leviatan liked to do in the pistol. Either that or they were just going to attempt to jump straight through the TP if anything was shown on the other side. Governor, well, it's looking like more of the same. He loved playing in showers in the first half, and he's back again.
Well, they do an instant TP with the decoy. Noise heard. Leviatan take control over Bath, again leaving Calm on the other side of the map to try to get this done. Catch someone off. We've already seen what his classic can do, so pretty confident in his duels. The Bath control, this is a risk by Primmy. He's going in for the fight against a lot of pistols, but the TP comes through. Big rotation, flash is good, swing is better. And the round is secured with just one loss. Gorgeous stuff, 7-7, tied up now. And, well, I guess the real test for Talon will be in the future rounds now, when the buy rounds come out and we get to see the limitations, potentially, of this comp. But like you said, they could have some ideas. I'm excited to see what they are.
I think we've already seen a couple of them. The fact that, again, you've got the classic sort of Tiger setup where you have the screen blocking and then you have the pop flashes through along with the Tiger to reveal anyone on the other side. It's a lot easier to do that versus pistols than anything else. But again, like, this is something that Lev won't have been prepared for, won't have been practicing against. For now, a couple of Guardians, Bulldog, Judge, and a Marshal, and a very quick take coming out of Lev.
Snakebite blocking out the backside, but Governor's up top. Looking to execute one of these players with the Marshal, deal some damage, but he's forced back by the spams. Leviatan get control of sight. Plant in, no flank, but they're watching it with Calm just in case. Snakebite already used, like we said, so there's a little bit of post-plant utility stripped from them. But in this round, you're going to look to do the damage with the rifles. There's a Judge on Jit Boys that's going to have a tough time in taking anywhere else other than Lamps, and so he's following the dog straight through, already tagged up, and they give up the space. Little tap from Aspas as well. He's making it costly in terms of health, but now he's dropped. Quick peek by Governor's good. Decoy reveals the position to Mazzino, starting to connect the dots on where these players are, and Mazzino wants to make a play, but straight into the entire force of Talon. King steps up when needed. His fourth kill, and an ace might be needed, but the Molly buys him a little bit more time. Up quickly as Governor, dashing around, but King's got him. The ace locked in, and the lead is kept by Leviatan.
It's funny, we were having a conversation in the green room.
Yeah,
we were
okay,
highlighting players, we were talking about Aspas, Mazzino, and you were like, maybe if those two guys don't turn up. What I say to you, I was like, what about King?
Yeah.
What about King?
Yeah.
They needed him. They desperately needed him in this round because, again, Talon are just grouping up like a death ball. And the thing is, every single time somebody was swinging into this angle, they got destroyed until King. The final blockade standing in their way.
Well, listen, I'll say this. Talon have had two very impressive bonus rounds. When it comes to those low buys, they're getting a lot of damage done. And that may stand to them if they can win this one. Leviatan will then be lower on cash.
Yeah.
8-7. The scoreline close to neck and neck. A slight edge to Leviatan. The rifle's out for Talon with an ult on Primi again. But this time defensive side, it won't have that same effect. But if Leviatan keep pumping the brakes on this, he might just use it for the info.
All right, Governor. Everybody's favorite operator angle. You've pushed all the way through showers. I feel like I've said that about 8 times with him so far this game. The problem is it locks down a lot of control, but they are just walking up. I think they're starting to realize how much of a gamble in these rounds are being taken by Talon. And because of that, they just have a free amount of space. Now, the good thing for the side of Talon is not only do you still have Showers control, which is about to be fought for, though the shot is missed, and now, well, Governor's under real trouble. How did he do that? Oh, Comma's just been absolutely destroyed. He's been made to look a fool. This man is in the spawn fighting absolutely everyone. They can't quite deal with him, and perfect synergy off the paranoia alongside the... Okay, finally, he's been dealt with, but so have the rest of Lev. There's no choice. Mazzino has to save, and he won't be allowed to.
Let me tell you, we talk about Primi coming in here. The Governor seems to be the one in charge. My goodness, what an incredible... I don't know how he got calm. Sliding around through his own fast lane, and look at this. Unbelievable.
It doesn't even take any damage. That was like some SSX tricky level stuff. Like just... No.
It's glass cannon too.
He's got it, like, you know, the meter on the side, the style points are just going off the damn charts.
You're on fire.
I don't believe what I've just witnessed, and I don't think Com does either. Like, you just gotta go, right. They had the little sit down earlier. It's like, yeah, it's really good to see him. I don't think he'll say that after this. No, every time I see him, I don't want to. I don't want to have that. 15 and 10, 15 and 8. The two duelists thriving, 8 and 8. Like, let's be real. I think most people are looking at this and going, maybe they get to 5.
Yep, I said 6 backstage.
It's a Talon squad that, as I said, I'll always give the benefit of the doubt to Cruz in like early matchups at tournaments, because I think they come in so well prepared. I think they come in with innovative comps, and that has stayed with him through X10, through Xerxia, and now in Talon. Like, they have always been annoying and weird, but in the best possible ways. And I think that the coaching staff behind the scenes as well have clearly come up with some wild shit.
Say what you will, this is fun to watch. I'll
100%.
say that.
100%.
Talon are not a boring team.
Oh,
yeah, it might be a little painful for the LEV fans, but for the rest of us, this is goddamn fun. I want more of Talon.
Who would have believed that in the server right now, Aspas is the 3rd best duelist?
Yeah.
I don't think it will last.
Well, let's see. It's 8-8. Talon have caught up, and now Leviatan are left down to just pistols. 1 rifle, and it's on Aspas. He's got the Guardian creeping out through the smoke, blind, and Aspas is dropped immediately. Jip Boys cannot be pushed, and he's got Ban by his side. Cruz as well, and they're dominating every duel. Comms left alone. Similar scenario. We've seen this one before. Just a classic to work with, and I almost thought he'd win that fight, but
wasn't far away.
Cruz is on a redemption arc from the first half. I think he came out of there with 1 kill. He's certainly catching up with the pack.
Yeah, I think he got a couple in the pistol and denied a knife. But they now take the lead. We were questioning how this was going to work over on that defensive side. Governor's operator was something we talked about. I think it's been far more aggressive than expected. He's playing it more like a chamber than anything else. We saw it from Autumn, but he doesn't have the get out of jail free, although seemingly he does, like just being able to dodge and weave. But this is where they get the rifles back on the board. Ults, good for the side of LEV. Like, these are high impact ults, and they are ready this time. But will that matter?
Comms pulling off his best Jit Boys cosplay. Governor on the other side. He's got cover. He's being watched by Primi. There's no free swing for Leviatan to take, and only risks for the attacking side. They've gone up, smoked off on long, but they've managed to retrieve themselves an orb. And now Seeker's online for Mazzino as well. 3 high-impact ultimates in play. You can see with the tracers, yeah, Primi's got that angle on lock. The wall goes up, and he'll take the space. I like this push, especially because he doesn't actually have a gate crash. It's already already decayed.
Right. Yeah, he's taking a risk. Oh, it's a nasty surprise to come. But a trade back again from King. This guy has been on point. 45 seconds on the clock. Seekers being popped as they look to make their move. There's the operator again from Governor. Seemingly unstoppable. Ultimate's going to be there, but doesn't last for long. And now Aspas steps up to the plate. Puts them in an advantageous position, and Ban, whoa, he seemed like he was unaware, but he actually wins that fight.
And the wingman's got the plant in. Mosh Pit and Molly and Orbital Strike online. Thrash just in case. Talon need to move quickly to get back into this round, and Ban on 8 HP won't really contribute to that being possible. They're waiting in case there's someone close by. Maybe not yet realizing the post-plant setup they're about to run into. Here comes Orbital Strike to start it. It's halved, but damage is done. 25 and 8.
Oh, no.
In goes Thrash. I actually thought it would be a different order to this with the Mosh Pit coming in next, but they need to be quick now. The Mosh Pit's a little bit late. They've already got it most of the way, but the diffuser killed just in time. King has saved the day, and Ban is going to save on the other side of the map. That was a little bit too close. I felt my heart skip a beat.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any world where he would get even close to that diffuser with a couple of mollies still available. But yeah. I guess maybe not knowing how low, well, you wouldn't know how low that player was other than the orbital strike, like gambling on how much it had connected. Luckily, even if we were nervous, it seems like King is the safest pair of hands. And what, Aspas? I think the only surprise from Aspas in that round is that he doesn't get the third kill.
So close.
Oh,
that was a pixel.
Yeah, someone's going to screenshot it with it complete, but
yeah.
How much this happened?
It's 1 tick away. 1 tick too many. Talon robbed of double digits. We're now back to 9-9. Leviatan pushing the credits down lower, but Talon still have some to fall back on. Governor's gone for the Outlaw in this round.
They could afford an operator, it seems. Like, there's plenty of credits still around, so.
Or even just a rifle. He's been damn good with the Vandal, but going in for the Outlaw. I respect the hustle. Let's see if it pays off.
Primi is not moving. He is standing his ground. Paranoia, but I don't think the timing was there. I don't even know how Primi has gone down to that, but I guess we'll need a replay of that one. Even still, that's the advantage they were looking for. Governor has to be dead. Yep, not going to be able to reload quick enough. And Cruz still lurking within the smoke. Has a little bit of support, but they do have to be wary of other angles. Mazzino taking the fight, but not overextending. Doesn't want to give the game away, and the timing for Cruz wasn't great, but he still gets both kills. Tex and Aspas gone. They now have an advantage.
No post-plant utility either. This has got to be defended with pure brawn. Inside the smoke, Mazzino. Oh, it's beautiful! Up until that point, but he got there in the end. Reload in, low HP on one, but Ban's there to take the fight. Talon were denied double digits in the last round, but they will be the first to reach it. Now taking the lead at 10-9. I really doubted this defensive comp. I did not think at 7-5 that they would be in with that strong of a chance, but now they're leading, and Leviatan economy in the dumps.
Yeah, and they're getting big plays from pretty much every single player. Like, yeah. I think Cruz was in a spot where you look at him and you go,
oh, Primi's mad.
Yeah, I'm mad for him. Like, that's
I reckon if he didn't jump, he doesn't die.
But yeah, Cruz, seemingly in a 1 versus 2, you go, okay, he maybe gets one, but the fact he then swings and takes out Aspas like that,
of all people.
Did you see how upset he was?
I didn't, I was looking down.
Around. Come on, Frost, where's the smile? You're 10-9 up versus Lev. I think a lot of people's favorites for this whole tournament.
High
maybe
expectations.
Genji. Maybe Genji.
Maybe Genji, yeah.
Maybe second.
We are in Korea as well. But for Talon, this achievement, already one they can be proud of, but they're not stopping here. A retake needed. But look what they're up against. Just pistols and Aspas on a Guardian. We've seen this before. It was the B-long push, and they were very quickly put to bed. This time, though, Talon have to go pushing into them. They don't seem to mind that all too much, though. TP down to the backside. Aspas is caught. That's the rifle stun for a moment. Big swing in from Governor again. Aspas only dropping the one. And now we're down to classics that will be quickly dealt with. The defuse under King's nose, and he's honestly just happy to die in the end. 11-9, a 2-round lead. And what could be Leviatan's last chance at a healthy buy.
Oh, yeah. No, this is do or die time. And I think for that matter, there might be a moment for a pause. I think a good time for one. You're not out of the game just yet. Definitely still opportunities, but again, they're struggling on this attack. It was something I mentioned versus G2, but I was like, okay, you're coming up against a comp that shouldn't be particularly good on the defense. I will eat my words because it has been. Governor, I think everybody looked at Primi, and to be fair, he's been fantastic, but Governor has been unbelievable in this server. Like, the fact that even a couple of rounds ago, he was sliding through the TP with a sniper just to try and get in and disrupt. And I think that's one of the fantastic things that they have been willing to do, is this team is not looking at it as, oh, I'm going to make the play that wins us the round. It's, I'm going to make the play that makes Lev look at me so that my teammate can win us the round. And in some cases, Governor has then still won the round while doing that, because if you genuinely believe that you could slide in behind someone with an outlaw and only have 2 bullets and win the round on your own, you're more insane than what we've witnessed so far.
And that's saying something. I mean, this has been an unhinged unhinged map from Talon, but that's exactly what they needed. If
no one else is stealing this comp other than maybe Paybreak. Paybreaks are sat there going,
guys, why didn't we think of this?
What if we had in a clove?
But for Leviatan, you know, I think if they come in here and try to play conventional Valorant, they lose 9 times out of 10, if not more. But this composition, it has put them on the back foot. The attackers now having to clean sweep back through, as we said. A lot. Oh, that's heard. That's heard. Calm was, I think, just close enough to get that sound cue, to have an idea there could be a man behind enemy lines, but they're focusing forward instead, leaving Calm to watch the flank.
Smoke's being thrown down from afar. Information definitely there. Looking like they're going to try and play this one as a retake, and you can understand why. Seekers are online, but also it's just that late positioning. Com actually has Viper's Pit, but in the meantime, he has taken out Cruz. It's not pretty from Tex. He's only going to get the one. He's done a lot of damage to Governor, though. Ban keeps things even. The trade's back continuous, and Primi He's got to be careful. The edge of this smoke that's about to fade. Calm is waiting, and Aspas is watching. It's left all onto Ban to try and fight back, but Aspas, again, will be there for Leviatan. They're going to close the distance down to 1, but economically, it's not going to do a lot. Talon is still buying, and that operator's back.
That might not be the case for the next round, but yeah, you're right, Tom. Here, they're able to buy up. There's Viper's Pit online for both sides. Governor has his ult that hasn't really done... There was no need to slow this one down. That's just rude. That's just rude.
The guy is currently, well, on 20 and 14.
20 and 14.
And the kills
like, show the whip.
That you have slowed down, because they didn't, I don't think they slowed down the like sick orb shot after he was sliding. No, let's slow down the whip.
Yeah,
our
just doing him
production
dirty.
is toxic.
I love it. I love it. Oh, here we go. Aspas, he's straight in and straight out. No one else able to fight him. Mazino's gone through the wall. Ban's doing a hell of a job. And now you might even think about taking it another direction. Viper's Pit is up, blocking out Calm's access to sight. And indeed, the spike is making its way backwards. Even then, okay, it is a retake from Talon on that side. Maybe the Pit can help out in the post plant. What's King 2 away? Won't be getting an orb all that easily. In fact, he might be getting an orb, but just from the death, down to 24 HP. He's ducking. He's made it.
Just about. I like the fact that Talon are not particularly committed on the A site. They've gone, okay, we're going to stack up again. This is something they've done throughout the half, is really take risks with where they're putting their players, but then be happy to play the retake. And in this case, it makes a lot of sense. You've got Dimensional Drift online. You've got the Overdrive for Neon as well. Like, these are ultimates that can take space so ridiculously fast. You go, okay, you can have the site. And especially an ult like this, normally it's a death sentence, but with Yoru's ult, it's a little bit easier to clear.
It may help. The concerns, though, Snakebite and Molly still online for the side of Lev. King playing far away, just looking to drop that in. Stop them where they start. Let's see if the ult, it certainly is catching them. But it's going to have to be Primi to do the damage. He sees the shorty. He knows what he's up against. Flash goes in. Second flash. And the spray from Calm doing so much. The commitment from Primi gets him one, but Calm still breathing. And now a chance to bring this across the line. It's only Ban remaining. This round was looking favored to Talon. They had it all. And the Pit's dropped. Van's caught one. And with Pit down, he has to go quick. He has to get on that here and now. And he realizes there's just no time to root Calm out of position. Looks like Calm might not survive, but he's done enough. 11 to 11. Leviatan have clinched that round out of the jaws of defeat.
I'm not even going to say Leviatan. Calm has clutched that round.
Yes.
Because that was not only... Like, the whole point of what Primi is doing is just to block him. Like, make sure that his teammates can get into the pit and fight while Calm is distracted. Calm is spamming into the smokes to try and stop the diffuser, because I think it did get halved, by the way.
Yeah.
They're trying to defuse it while he is playing distraction, and then he runs in and just goes, okay, if I die, it's fine. I need to stop them defusing, and gets 2 kills from it. Really impressive decision-making from the likes of Calm, who I'll say at times has had a rough game, because he has been caught by some insane stuff in this match so far.
One of the things I was always a big fan of Calm for, since way back in the day, is his utility, on a Sova especially. It always stood out from the crowd. And here he had the decision with the Snakebite of where to put it. He doesn't put it on the spike, he puts it right below him on the stairs, denying any opportunity from them to push him. But he knows that if he just keeps his spot safe, they're going to defuse the spike. Sprays away. His teammate, I think it was Tex right behind him, had to cover.
Yeah.
When you saw Primi come out, and the fact that Primi uses up those shorty shots and can't find any success with it, I mean, that was just unbelievable play from Calm. You can watch that round back 5 times. I still wouldn't get bored of it. And on the side of Talon, oh, they've taken a moment to compose themselves. We're in the home stretch now. We're going the distance, all 24 rounds. The question is, are we going further? Or is this going to be a 13 to 11, a crushing defeat for whichever team fails to make the mark?
I think for Talon, it's already proved that they're a competitor.
Oh, yeah.
For Lev, maybe they're not as favored as people would think. I think Ascent is going to be the real proving ground of that. Weaponry, there's a gap or two. A judge for Cruz, I don't think is too much of a problem. They're going for this 2-man stack up in Hookah, just looking to try and hold on to that control. The thing is, ult-wise, nothing. There will be no ults unless Ban is going to get an insane multi-frag. And on the other side of things, Showstopper is close, and they've got the orbital strike.
Well, they've got the site control too, but Hookah's still in the hands of Talon.
Where's he going?
He's gone straight in, and that was not the play. Tex was very ready for that one. I mean, Cruz's TPs have been interesting. Spray down, not great for Mazzino. It does damage, but doesn't take down the players. Aspas, though, with the wall bang does. And that's a little angle they weren't expecting. Jip Boy's up top. He's made it work before. He's pulled back some rounds. Ban on the side, luckily corrects in time, but he's the last man standing. Couple rounds in a row, tapping away at the head, and he's not going to get a free opportunity. Mazzino, well, maybe he will. We get ADS on that. The 3 players to deal with, time against him, rifle in his hands, and economy low. Saving might even be the play that he's going for, but the flash comes out at just the wrong time. 12-11. Talon seemed to be on the cusp of victory, but now they have to fight for survival on Bind.
Yeah, with 3-round streak. Finally, we're starting to see the stabilization, also some big plays, but yeah.
Maybe he thought they were just sending in Wingman and they were playing long.
Maybe. Or maybe
he's wrong.
Been watching Red Guard demos.
Oh, there was no need for that. There's no need for that. He's not even here, man. It's just rude.
That's okay. He knows. He knows.
That's like slowing down a replay of a whiff.
Yeah, no, it is. It's rude. 12-11. Talon have fought tooth and nail. They've proven that they can compete. That all becomes meaningless if you can't get it over the line. Aspas, Showstopper out. But speaking of out, the entirety of the opposing team are already set up for the retake. Ban, 1 kill will gift them Seekers, get them that information. The problem is the retakes have been solid. Molotov actually used early from King just to try and deny some of the space as they now attempt the retake to keep them in the map.
Still some post-plant utility. Still got the molly that was fired out, and then King gets a double on the back, just swinging in. Every kill for Leviatan, barely a scratch of damage, and it's left to Ban for what feels like the 100th time, but he'll be shut down here. 13-11. Leviatan looked down and out, but they came back in the nick of time. And now Ascent, their map pick, is up next.
Yeah, they've had to fight through what was some truly insane rounds from the likes of Talon, who again have proven that they can compete. Either way, we'll be back after the break to see if they've got anything special for us over on Ascent.
Science, as you know, is the study of the nature and behavior of the universe. It's based on observation, on experiment and measurement, and formulation of laws to describe the facts, reveal, formulate.